Holy moly, where did the time go? I just like sitting here and just singing and having a really good time this morning. It's a tantalizing Tuesday. I'm not really sure why, but we're here in the hot seats and it must be a special day. Chris, he's
Thank
on the
you.
prowl. Y'all might want to look around you, wherever you are. Take a look around, look in your rearview mirror. He said he had some tips about some shady dealings in the area, and he was going to do a little trash receptacle search. That's like dumpster diving, and destroy work over the next few days. Not sure what he's after, but last Friday he was acting a little cagey.
What are you?
He wasn't even talking right. He was just kind of like,
What is this about?
he's up to something. He's up to something. A couple of notes he shared over the weekend made me really curious and suspicious. I think he may have hit on something. Our problem is that he's either in hiding or just out of commission for about a week or so. He was pretty vague. You think so? Wasn't he kind of vague about what he's doing?
All I can say is I'm going to make sure somebody's tuning in and listening on my behalf when I'm not here.
Meanwhile, Lee and I are in a holding pattern, but I'm sure we can come up with some stuff to keep us interested, and maybe you too.
Oh, we've got some stuff.
We're counting on y'all. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Rayford Brown, and this, my friends and others, is live and local Real Talk, where we discuss tantalizing tools to political shenanigans.
And good morning. And as Richard said, we're one more day to hump day. Yay. And good morning, I'm Barrows.
Now, we're 6 days away from hump day.
No, tomorrow's hump
It was
day.
last week. Tomorrow may never come.
Okay.
You never know. Okay, it is Tuesday. Things are happening all over the world, and we're going to start with some awful news again, this time out of California.
Yes.
It got pretty dangerous there yesterday. Two shooters entered the Islamic Center in San Diego and opened fire. They had rifles, don't know what kind yet. Authorities urged residents to stay away from that area. A heavy police presence included SWAT teams. 3 people were killed before the teenage shooters. Yep, that's what I said. 2 teenagers, high schoolers, shot and killed themselves. Police are investigating the shootings. They're calling it hate crimes. Well, yeah. You go into any place and you start shooting the place up, it's a hate crime. One of the shooters and a companion are believed to have left home with one of the kids' parents' car, and according to his mom, some of their guns. I think there were 3 rifles missing.
She called police.
She called police. Both shooters were wearing camouflage clothing, as though that really matters, but it's always going to play a part in every story out there. One of the 3 victims at the mosque was a security guard.
Yes.
More and more houses of worship of all faiths are employing security personnel. Yeah, that's what the hate-filled rhetoric from all sources, not just our politicians, has produced. We get it over radio, we get it over TV, we just get hate. That's not good. A letter was left behind by one of the shooters, a letter filled with hate and rhetoric. It was not aimed at any particular group or religious center, according to police, but we don't know that until we see it.
Right.
The mother of that shooter reported several hours before the shooting itself. Police were on the lookout for him. She reported that he took off. Apparently, she discovered her car and the guns missing while she was talking with police about him being missing in action.
Yes.
She told police that she was fearful that he was going to harm himself. She then discovered the car and guns missing. After police responded to shots fired at the mosque, and they found the 3 bodies of the 3 men there, they received another report of shots fired from a car parked several blocks away. They found inside the car, conflicting reports were shot at a worker at that location too, and one of the initial unconfirmed, unverified, we don't know, reports said a bullet hit the guy's hard hat. Don't know. We all need to watch ourselves. Whether it's with your family, whether it's over dinner, whether it's politics you're discussing, because I'll tell you, if you're if you are a right wing conservative or a left wing, anything but conservative person, it's very doubtful. It's very doubtful that you will be in a room with your relatives where they all agree with you. In fact,
Absolutely.
most of them probably won't agree with you because you are in the minority. The right wingers, the ultra right wingers, and the ultra left wingers, y'all are in the minority. You're just noisy. You're obnoxious, you're noisy, and you're dangerous. And
I
you
agree.
should be on police radar.
Well,
I love you.
rule of the thumb when you're having a family outing, leave politics alone. I have family members that are far, far right. I have family members that are left. And of the group, I have some that are very, very adamant about their beliefs and will argue in a heartbeat. So when you come in the door, you leave politics outside.
Absolutely.
Now, who out of the whole family, who is the one that's more involved in politics than anyone else? And that would be me. But I leave it all outside. When I'm in a meeting, a group of people, family, no. Well, I'm not going to discuss politics because everyone has the right to express themselves. I have no problem with that. But when you become belligerent and when you start saying you're wrong because you don't believe the way I believe, then it gets to be a mess. It gets to be a mess.
That's how fights start.
Yeah.
They start between countries. They start between people. They start between gangs. They just start between parties.
Right.
Now, I want you forget all that. Don't forget it, but just put it aside for just a sec. Think about your family, the kind of family, if you've got a large family and you get together over Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, or friends,
Right.
a big group of friends. The next time you're together, before you start your get involved in or participate in or originate crap talk, I want you to look around there and see which one, and you will know who it is because we've all got them in our
Yes, we
family. So
do.
we've all know them in our friends.
It's
circle of
normal.
friends. Look
It's
around you and
normal.
say, wonder which one of these people I'm going to send over the edge and he's going to go get a gun
Well, I was talking
today,
to,
tomorrow, or next week.
I was out of town last night at a function, and I was talking to a lady that was sitting next to me. And the more she talked, I could tell she was an extreme MAGA. And so I let her talk and I smiled and did not argue. You just let things carry on. She has the right. That's the way she feels. If she thinks that Trump is the greatest thing in the world, that's her opinion.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and you have to learn to reserve comments sometimes.
If you go to a Trump rally, you can be fairly certain that the vast majority of the people at the Trump rally
Been to
are
many
going
of
to be
them.
Trump supporters, and some
Right.
of them are going to be on the extreme right. Now, if you go to a meeting of the KKK, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find some people that do not like black people.
That's right.
Okay, most of them,
Right.
probably all of them, just because they're not going to like black people. Now, if you go in there and you talk about anything else other than not liking a certain group that this group likes, then you're going to be an outcast.
Yes.
So it's best to stay away from those kinds of places, right?
That's
If
right.
you go to a Trump rally and you're up there and you want to try to talk common sense or whatever, who are you talking? You may as well go out here and talk to that oak tree that I cut. No, I wasn't an oak. That's crap trees that we had cut down last week.
Right.
You can talk them down all you want, but it's going to take a chainsaw to make something happen.
I've been to Trump rallies before, and
I have not.
Well, I have, and that's when I was chairman of the party, and gone in there, sat up front, and I couldn't even tell you what Trump said because I just watched the people.
Yeah.
That was more fascinating to me than what he had to say. I'm sorry to say, but when he came out, there was such an aura in people were just like, I looked at the lady next to me that came with me. She was crying. I go, what are you crying about? She said, it's Trump, and he walked out like he does, he does. And the crowd was going crazy.
He is not God, people.
You would have thought that some people thought he was Jesus.
He's not.
And I just was so fascinated by the crowd and the reactions. Would I ever say anything against that? No. I mean,
No, you pick your wars and your
That's
battles,
right.
otherwise you're going to lose.
But it's just, Rayford, I wish you'd been there to see it.
No, I don't. I was just thinking about it.
Hey,
You've been to Trump rallies, right?
yes.
I've never been to a Trump rally, but I've been to a KKK cross burning.
Yes, you
You
have.
understand?
We should put our two stories together. Write an essay on this. Do a short story.
That's to me, when we're just talking about it, that to me is kind of funny.
Right.
I've been to one of those.
Well, I know he's coming back again soon.
I don't think I'll be there.
I'm just waiting for the details.
It's any people, please get a handle on your own selves. As you get
It's
control
not
of your
worth
own
it.
self is what.
It's not worth it to ostracize your family or to get in fights. If you're going to fight over the turkey. Excuse me.
You want the drumstick?
No,
Go
I
for
want
it.
the wing.
They're
right.
two drumsticks. You go for one of them.
Right.
Maybe
Fight over
let
dinner.
the other people fight over the other
Don't
one.
fight over politics because I tell you what, we have such division in politics these days and such strong opinions both sides.
Mhm.
And you were talking about the shooting earlier, and I was listening to some talk about it this morning. And the host of the show that was talking about it, we're talking about, well, young kids are picking up so much rhetoric
Yes,
from
they are.
political
And-
candidates and opponents, and
see, this kinds of stories also generate copycats.
well, we were
Because-
just talking yesterday about the shooting in Austin, the teenagers
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we
Is this
did.
the new thing now, recruiting teenagers to do your work for you? I mean,
They're expendable and they're stupid.
and this,
By and large, I don't mean they're stupid as in idiots.
right.
They're stupid in the way this world works. Okay, they're just
Right.
not ready for it yet. They're also easily manipulated. Gangs have been doing
Mhm.
it for eons, since way before
Yes,
old people like me
yes.
were born. That's what they do. They go after the weak.
Yes.
The weak, and not
And the
not
young.
stupid, really stupid, but stupid in the ways of the world.
Well,
easy
that's the
targets.
first thing I thought of when I started catching up yesterday on that, because I was watching some of the podcasters do a live from that scene. And I'm thinking, kids again. We just had this Saturday with the kids, the 3 teenagers in Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
that were hijacking cars and
Yeah.
going around and shooting at people randomly.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And then this yesterday, and I'm like, what's going on? Is this a trend now? Are they being recruited? I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but right now,
They are easily swayed, and they feel like, hey, I don't think they understand that they have an entire lifetime that they're going to
Right.
throw away, whether they kill themselves, which
Yeah.
generally, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, too often they end up doing. But, to waste yourself away.
and you know what? And it's horrible to say, but life is going to go on,
If, if you're so low that the only way you can get attention is to go get a gun or grenades or drive a car into a crowd or do whatever.
right?
If that's the only way you can get attention, you really need to have some self-esteem developed.
Some counseling
But-
for sure.
Well, counseling is in order, definitely. Unfortunately, I would love to know the family life of this one youngster, because it sounds like he was the leader. Don't know that for a
Well, the
fact.
one mother, she saw the red flags and immediately called.
Well, Well, she saw the letter.
Yes.
That's a red flag.
Yes.
She finds her car and gone. Oh my God, where are the guns? And
Yes.
and when it was 9:00, 9:30 in the morning, their time, when she discovered this stuff, he was missing. When she made the call, I don't know when she discovered it.
Do you imagine how hard that was for her to make that call?
Oh,
She
I'm
did the
sure
right
she
thing,
did it in a
but-
panic because she knew her son was going to die, or likely either by the police or by himself or whatever. It was
Right.
not going to be a pretty end either way. And even if he didn't, he was gone for the rest of his life.
So tragic. So there was a total of 5 killed. I think 3.
Including the 2
Yeah,
kids.
3 victims, and then the 2 kids killed
Yeah,
themselves,
yeah.
allegedly.
Oh,
Yes.
they did.
Yes,
You know.
we pretty sure, but waiting for
I-
definite confirmation on that.
It's awful, the situations that we have to deal with. We read about whether it's a one-on-one gang style like we had here a few years ago at the school one morning, whether it's just a one-on-one situation.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? What is
Right.
the purpose in it? What do you hope to gain from it? You're going to be arrested or you're going to be killed.
Well, watching it and keeping up with it yesterday afternoon, they said there was close to 100 officers there. They were coming
I saw
from
that many-
neighboring
I saw that many
counties
cars there.
and
in one picture.
cities, and they right away they went to go into the building, and they were because they had the shooters were down then. And they were in there and they were busting through doors and everything, I mean, they showed no fear from the stories that I heard from the
They charge into battle.
Yeah, they charged right into battle. And
It's like firefighters and cops.
yes,
They both run towards the scene. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a fireman running away from a fire, well, that's not going to do much
well,
good.
my
You got a
question
cop
is,
running away from the sound of gunfire. That's not going to do much good, is it?
they found
A lot of-
anti-Islamic
Yeah.
writings in the car.
Yeah.
Do these kids even understand what they were doing? Do they even
I
understand
would like to read what they
what
wrote.
this church was about?
I would
the
like
school?
to read what they wrote.
Yes.
Because chances are pretty good they couldn't even spell Islamic.
Right. Right. And
Okay.
that's what makes me wonder, are kids being groomed now? I mean, I know it's only been 2 recent episodes, but the trend all of a sudden is switching up. It's just kind of scary.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Yes, it is. Phew.
Let's go to something pleasant for just a minute.
Let's do tell.
Okay, I
Do
wish
tell.
my boat was in the water.
Oh, I bet it's a beautiful
It's a
week for
pretty-
boating,
It's a
Rayford.
pretty couple of days left here
Yes.
to go for sure. The offshore waters here at Onslow Bay.
Oh, no.
For you newbies, Onslow Bay stretches from Cape Lookout, if you'll look at a map
Mm-hmm.
sometime, from Cape Lookout down to Cape Fear. That whole body of water out there, we refer to it as Onslow Bay. The offshore waters of this Onslow Bay, beautiful area, out to 60 nautical miles, which includes some of the favorite hunting grounds for avid, or maybe you could call them rabid, blue marlin anglers. They'll be in search of that prized fish and the upcoming Big Rock Marlin
I'm
tournament.
so
I've
excited.
been to the Big Rock many times out
So
there,
have
not
I, yes.
fishing for marlin because I
As a
don't fish for
spectator.
marlin. I didn't go as a spectator.
I did.
I went out there to look for big other fish, king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, whatever.
Right.
It's a pretty decent week weather-wise. Should you want to try your hand for big kings, those wonderful Spanish backs, wahoo, dolphin, not flipper, the fish. You call it mahi, call it
Mahi.
El Dorado, you call it whatever
Yes.
they are. We have some great species and delicious species around this neck of the woods. Today, out yonder, southerly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet, very doable. Wednesday, tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 3 to 4 footers, a slight chance of showers. Now, if there happens to be a thunderstorm or some heavy winds or something, those 3 to 4 footers could gain in popularity and get on up there 4, 5, 6 footers. So be careful. And when there's wind like that, they'll get close together, and that's when it looks like a washing machine. Nasty. bounce you around a little bit. Make sure you've got the right boat. You don't want to take a John boat out there. Weather can change on you,
Or a dinghy.
and those little John boats. They're made out of light metal, and it doesn't take much of a wave or a gust of wind to put them upside down. They don't float good either. Southwesterly winds tomorrow 5 to 10. Thursday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15, becoming southerly 5 to 10 in the afternoon, seas 3 to 4 feet, a chance of showers once again. Now, in the morning, winds are going to be southwesterly 5 to 10. They're going to be a minor change to the south, and they're going to calm down just a little bit towards the afternoon. If you can go out in the morning, and you'll have a good day of fishing all day long.
Well, there's been a lot of pictures on social media, people out there in the Topsail area bringing them in. Today, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 87. Light south wind increasing 5 to 10 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 16 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 63. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 88. Thursday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. And I will tell you that it's forecasted some rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The percentages are dropping once again, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Normally, we kind of look forward to that towards the weekend, but right now we need some water falling from the sky.
Yes, we do.
We need a fairly decent soaking. Needs to be light rain so it doesn't run off. It needs to soak in. And overnight's great. If it starts raining at midnight, it doesn't evaporate as rapidly as it does during the day.
Don't plan a trip to the mountains in the fall to gaze at the fall foliage right now, because this drought really has an effect on it.
If they don't get some water up there, the fall colors are going to be brown. They go from green to brown overnight.
I watched my neighbor raking up dead leaves in our yard. Usually fall you're raking leaves.
Yeah.
She was out raking leaves the other day. They were dead.
Some trees will produce some leaves that change in the summertime.
Right.
There's a change in the live oaks, for instance.
Yeah, this was from a magnolia tree.
Oh, those things, you can't count on those for anything.
I don't know. I just planted one.
Oh, good for you. Our ham radio group this morning out and about everywhere. Randy in the southwest, 60 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.22 inches of mercury, upper level fog he had a couple hours ago, about an hour ago. He had no wind, and of course, nobody had any rain. Everybody's complaining. Joe, our buddy down in the borough in Swansboro, 68 degrees, 96% humidity, 30.23 inches of mercury. And he had a very light breeze out of the southwest, pretty much unmeasurable, but he could tell it was there. Joe then gets into his pick-em-up truck, hauls butt over to Emerald Isle almost every morning.
So
Wintertime, he walks the streets of Swansboro in the morning, but he goes over to Emerald Isle, takes pictures of the sunrise, makes it look good. And it was 73 degrees at Emerald Isles.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 5 degrees warmer at Emerald Isle than it was at the Swansboro. Mostly clear, he said. Has some fog building, as the later call he made in here. The seas, nothing. Smooth, very smooth. So that's good. And he had a big old shrimp boat going by, or a fishing boat offshore. One of those commercial fishing boats. He said that was so pretty. I love those things in the morning like that. James in Bladen County. He was in Bladenboro when he called in. Very foggy at the time, 61 degrees. One of the guys checked in from Michael checked in from Crew, Virginia.
Virginia. We talked about Crew.
We looked that one up.
Small town.
It was 72 degrees there when Michael called in this morning.
Muggy.
Carol called in this morning. The Carol and Dale team.
The Carol and Dale.
Yeah, husband and wife, they're both hams. Up around Riverbend, it was 62 degrees, 99% humidity. She's a master gardener, and she said, I wish we need the rain, but they didn't have any. Ward in Cedar Point, 69 degrees, 95% humidity, 30.30 inches of mercury. He had a very light south-southwesterly breeze this morning. Ken in Onslow Bay, down the street here from us, 84% humidity, 64 degrees and cloudless, as he put it. No clouds in the sky.
Cloudless.
Lee over in the Woodlands this morning.
That
Lady
would be
Blue
me.
herself. 64 degrees, 95% humidity, 30.23 inches of mercury. No wind. Over in Jones County, Robert was calling and said it was 63 degrees, 97% humidity, 30.25 inches of mercury, and slowly falling, and a light fog there, and a very light southeasterly breeze. Here right now at the studio at 65 degrees. Humidity is up there about the maximum, 99%.
Wow.
There is no wind and none recorded in a while.
Yeah.
There is a chance of rain, but slight chance of showers. 30.12 inches of mercury holding steady. And of course, there's been no rain. Last rain was on the 11th.
Well, I will tell you, since January 1st of this year, at my location, I've had a little bit over 6 inches of rain total.
That's very light.
6.24 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
April showers. Where did what happened?
I don't know. You remember the thunderstorms that we used to get like crazy this time
April
of the year?
showers bring May flowers. So we've had to water instead of the rain. Okay, and tomorrow, week number 3 for the WCTI Weather Radio Wednesday. Tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Donnie Cox and Company. They probably are not going to be bothered too much by rain, but hopefully they will. That would be great. Tomorrow at Emerald Isle at the Sound Ace hardware store there. Emerald Isle. That's Weather Radio Wednesday. Sound Ace hardware store at Emerald Isle. And what this is for you newbies, new folks who are just arriving into the area. It's the day that you can come, either bring your weather radios. If you moved in from another area and you had a weather alert radio and you want it hooked up for the immediate area here, wherever you live and the county you live in and the surrounding counties, perhaps, you can do that. Bring it by there, and some ham radio operators from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club will be on hand, and they will reprogram your radio if you've got one. Now, if you open that radio up and you haven't used that radio in a while and you just never changed the batteries in that radio, and you open the back of it up, before you take it in, go ahead and clean the terminals best you can. If you can't, don't want to, it's an old radio. There's a little receptacle that you have in your kitchen or somewhere else. Put it there in the bottom of it.
Yes.
Dispose of the batteries, not in the garbage can, though. Put them somewhere else.
We don't want to set garbage trucks on fire.
Yeah, especially if they're lithium batteries. But anyway, it might be time to get a new weather radio. You can get it at the Sound Ace hardware store tomorrow or any day that they have them in stock, or at other locations. There are plenty of them in the area. And but you buy a new radio, you just come in with an idea of what counties you want to be able to get alerts from. Here in Onslow County, for instance, I want to know what's coming up from the south, from Pender and New Hanover County, what's coming from the west, from Duplin County primarily. And I like to know what's coming down. Sometimes we get weather systems come down from Carteret or Jones counties. I've got all of those programmed into my radios.
Right, yes.
So in the middle of the night, if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, and they say it's at Pollocksville and it's moving south, I'm like, okay, I got to stay up. If it's a tornado on the ground, they wake me up in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay, you think I'm going back to sleep right now? Ain't no way.
Those boogers are loud. It's like having a fire truck in your living room when they set off the alarms.
I don't know what it's like to have a fire truck in my living room.
It'll wake up everybody. It'll wake up the neighbors. I'm telling you right now,
they need to get up too.
Loud.
And they should have had their own radio, but they don't. Now, next week, Donnie Cox and Company, they're going to be right here in Jacksonville again. At the Jacksonville Ace Hardware Store. That's on Henderson Drive. 1050 is the address. And that's the best location. It's right across from the Jacksonville High School.
Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals. Okay. Now, let's see what else we got cooking in the world. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to talk about the thug?
Nope.
Okay. We'll get to him later.
I'm going to talk about the mayor of Seattle.
The mayor of Seattle.
Yeah, there's a city councilman in that city of Seattle. He was all gung-ho about the mayor when she came on board.
Uh-oh. I'm going to have to check this out.
He's a little concerned about her now, as he put it.
Okay.
Rob Sacca, who's a Democrat, a city councilman, isn't quite as enthused with Mayor Katie Wilson any longer, pointing towards the exodus of some major businesses.
Would it be Starbucks?
That would be the one, the first one, the biggest one. But anyway, Starbucks, they got their start in Seattle, and that's been one of Seattle's claims to fame for a whole long time. The coffee giant recently announced a major expansion, but it's moved to Nashville for most of its operations while cutting Seattle-based corporate jobs, and that has intensified concerns about the ability of the city to continue drawing other major companies to the city. Starbucks is not the only one packing up and leaving. Starbucks is still going to have a presence in Seattle, but their big stuff is going to Nashville.
Well,
Starbucks in Nashville. That's going to be a big 2,000 corporate people.
yeah, she's a young socialist mayor.
She is a socialist, self-proclaimed, very proud socialist, doesn't seem too concerned about the departures on her watch. Mayor Wilson went viral for laughing off the exodus of billionaires and business leaders from her city, saying, I want you to listen to these words.
I
think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are super overblown, and really added some flippant insult when she added, the ones that leave, like, bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's...
Really?
That was not a good comment, especially being the mayor.
Here's what I see.
Right.
If I was anybody who's going to be running against her for mayor,
Right.
the campaign slogans that are going to be out there when it comes to the next election, how about something like, Mayor Wilson, like, bye. Oh, God. Posters, TV ads, I can see that campaign literature. Mayor Wilson, like, bye. She said the words, like, bye. What a flippant little
exact words. We
dork.
have exactly.
Dork.
Yes. I would have got
That could be her viral epitaph.
Well, she's
Like,
drawing
bye.
national attention, evidently.
Oh, yeah, she has. It goes
Oh,
to
my
from sea
gosh.
to shining sea. She's getting it.
Well, what does it say? Howard Schultz singled out the mayor in a Wall Street Journal
Yeah, he did.
Starbucks co-founder and said it was socialist rhetoric that vilifies employers while she continues to rely on them for revenue. That's a big point
When
right
they
there.
take their tax dollars and leave town,
Yes.
honey, you got a problem.
Yes, you do. Most definitely you do. I mean, she won't be reelected. Well, I can't say she won't be reelected.
Seattle, but you got a Democrat on the city council who's not happy with her.
Well,
Maybe he'll run against her.
because he's looking at it logically.
Yeah, financially, that could be a major. I mean, that's black eye when your organization pulls up and leaves. You know.
Wow. Starbucks has grown to more than 40,000 stores and has become as
it's iconic.
yes,
That's
like
all it
McDonald's.
is.
It's yeah.
You think of coffee? Let's go to Starbucks. It might not even be a Starbucks. It might be another place. Let's go to Starbucks. It's like Kleenex.
Well,
every tissue you pull, every tissue you get, you call it. I need a Kleenex.
Well, you know who else left at that area? The multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos.
Yes, he did.
The founder of Amazon.
Yes, he did.
The guy
Yes, he
of the
did.
Blue Origin space rockets. He said, I'm out of here. Moved from Washington up there in the
As far up as you can
western,
get.
as far as you can get in the United States, all the way down to the East Coast to the tip. So that tells you right there that
He went to friendly areas. He went to a much
Right.
friendlier
Right.
area.
Florida is just, man, they've got
Let's see. Today's Tuesday. We
today's Tuesday.
have no schedule. Nothing.
We have no schedule
Okay,
today,
I just
nothing.
had to think.
But I did want to talk about the city of Jacksonville put out an alert last night.
What did they say?
Seemed to draw some attention. It was discharge of untreated sewage into the Mill Creek at
And,
approximately
Mill
2:30 a.m.
Creek is over there in Northwood.
Yeah, over DeWitt Street area,
and
or
runs-
Acorn Force,
yeah,
DeWitt
runs
Street.
through there,
Yes, right, old part. I didn't know the creek. I thought the creek was dried up.
It was until they filled it up with sewage.
It's a lot of doo-doo there. At approximately 2:30 a.m. on May 18th, 35,751 gallons of untreated sewage spilled, poop, into Mill Creek near the area of DeWitt Street in Jacksonville due to a bypass pump malfunction. The spill was stopped by city crews at 8 a.m., so it poured for 6 hours?
Yeah, buddy. That's 35,000 gallons. That's a lot.
By changing a relay on the primary pump. That's what they did to stop it. City crews have deployed chlorine tablets and pelletized
good.
lime at the site. I hope the ducks aren't around.
The
And will
ducks are smarter.
continue to sample in multiple locations. The city will be sampling in multiple locations along the creek until the counts clear up.
Yeah.
At no time was city drinking water compromised, and there is no danger to the public
Good.
unless you go
Swimming.
swimming
Don't do
in
that.
the creek.
The gators will get you anyway.
Yes, yes,
If the poop doesn't, the gators will.
right. Well, you got the creek that runs right behind Northwood Shopping Center.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's there because didn't Queen, what do we call that over there off of DeWitt Street, that little creek right there, that the Lutz, it was actually the Lutz property.
Elizabeth Lake?
Elizabeth Lake,
That
yes.
wasn't a creek. That used to be a lake.
Yeah, that used to be, but it's all dried up, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. City did that.
Yes. Didn't they have an underground leakage or something? The water was leaving. I don't remember the story on
I
that.
don't know what happened.
But I remember it used to be a beautiful lake. It used to be
It
a lot
was,
of ducks
of course.
over there.
Ducks, there were fish. People fished. I used to live
Yes.
around there on DeWitt Street. One
Yeah,
of the first
people
houses
fish
over
from
there.
there.
103.
Yes.
But it was, you had two ways in, one on either end.
Right.
Nothing connected to Gum Branch Road in those days.
It was always such a pretty
But
place.
it
Elizabeth
had
Lake.
azaleas planted around the
Yes.
I'll never forget the garden club. It may have been the Elizabeth Lake Garden Club. It could have been the Jacksonville Garden Club. They had the azaleas, and that was one of their projects to beautify Elizabeth Lake, and they did a beautiful job of it.
I remember.
Some of
it
those
was very
azaleas are probably
pretty.
still on the banks.
And the ducks, and people would stop all the time and feed the ducks.
Yeah.
Speaking of ducks, the little ducklings
Yum,
have
yum.
hatched. I've seen
Ducklings
them.
or the geeslings?
Well, I don't know what they are. They're birds. They're the quack quack. Some people call them ducks. Some call them geese. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Quack, they are ducks. Geese.
I've never had a conversation with them. But I can tell you, I was going down Western Extension the other day, and on the side of the road were the mamas and
That's
bunch of
geese.
little babies everywhere.
Those are geese.
Well, geese,
The mamas are kind of
goose,
big.
ducks, whatever.
In
I don't
a
know.
group like that, even without the babies around, there will always be one of the geese who's a sentry. He's up there. He's not feeding. He'll take his turn later.
Right.
But there's one who's watching. He's the one to sound the alarm in case something
There was
comes.
babies just galore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they will. And have you seen them escort their babies across Western
Yes.
Boulevard?
Yes.
You better stop.
yes, you better stop. You get out there and run over those babies. You're going to get beat up. I'm going to tell you, somebody's going to yank you out of your vehicle.
There's been one or two big ducks hit. Big geese have been hit. I've seen that on both the side of the road. But they got warning signs out there.
I saw a baby deer last night on 258 heading out of Jacksonville into Kinston. I was like,
There was one up here on Country Club Road, right
So
just near
sad.
Country Club Drive a couple of days ago. Dead.
Bambi's
In the
baby.
morning.
Yeah, but be
But this
careful
was
out
a
there.
full-grown one.
Yeah, right here around Western Huff Drive. There's the babies. The babies have been
Western
hatched.
going out towards Sam's area,
Yes.
that whole area there. They've got because there's
There's all
pond and
those
stuff like
retention
that, yeah.
ponds.
But they those are known as pond geese. They kind of like most of them stay around year round.
Geese goose. I remember my granddaughter lecturing me on that. I was like, look, I don't know what they are. I don't get out. I'm not a foul person. That kind of foul.
I'm a pretty foul person, but it's spelled a little differently.
I don't
You know,
understand.
the English language is screwed up.
Yes.
How do you spell foul?
Well, it depends on which
How do you
meaning.
spell foul?
Are we talking bird
How do you
life?
spell foul?
FOWL.
Wrong. FOUL. See, that's the problem.
No, FOUL is like a foul in a, like
I
a
just asked, how do you spell foul?
and I asked you which
And I
one,
didn't
which
answer.
meaning.
And I didn't answer.
So,
You were wrong.
no, you were wrong for putting it that way. Here we go.
Our language is really messed up.
It is, and I see more and more, especially on social media. And look,
That's just because they don't know how to spell.
well, the
Or
big thing is, texting. When you mess up texting, you have to forgive each other because we know what you mean. But the problem is sometimes when you're texting fast, which I have that habit of and hitting send before I look and see what actually.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's forgivable. We all understand that, we're not sitting. But these people that get on social media and put posts on there, and the grammar is just, and thankfully, I had one of our listeners, I had posted something last week, and I had gone back and redone it and posted on there. And when I went back to proofread, I went right over top of the word here, which should have been HEAR, and it had typed HERE.
Sure.
Didn't even notice it. And so one of our listeners texted me and said, you might want to go back and fix it. I was like, thank you so much, because generally I proofread several times. And I know the difference between HEAR and HERE, but it slipped by me. So I did correct it. So thank you for that.
Newspapers back in the day,
Right.
they had something called proofreaders.
Right.
Before that thing was ever gone to press, a
Right.
proofreader, not the person who originated it, because the other people, if I originate it, I can look over it as thinking it's
Right.
all right. When I go through it, one, I might not know the difference, which would be dumb on my part, but more often than not, it's because I just don't see it like it's really there.
Right.
I see it as though, okay, that's fine. Here's fine. Yeah, it's spelled right. No. Proofreaders, somebody else checking it is the way things get corrected.
And like I say, I think I was doing it fast, and I did read it several times, and I wasn't comprehending as I was reading it, and that was the problem, or I would have seen right there. But you're right. And look, you don't have to be a grammar specialist or a spelling specialist to post on social media. That's understandable. But I'm talking about these long posts that are written with direction, and there's a lot of mistakes in it. I'm like, do y'all ever go back and read what you write? I mean, there's common things like TO, TOO, and TWO. Common mistakes there.
Yeah.
There's mistakes like the word dam, DAM, like a barrier for water. And the word that we used to all consider such a bad, dirty word, it's not so much anymore.
You mean the damn?
Yeah, that's the DAMN. It's short for damnation. So that's that one gets me. Okay, just here. And then there's things like there, here.
There, and there.
Right. And there, yeah, the THEY apostrophe RE, they are. So there's a lot of things like that. But the reason why I bring it up is because I've noticed over the years that this is getting worse and worse and worse. As you would say, more worser.
That's because they don't do handwriting either, script.
Yeah.
They can't do, no.
Right.
The real writing, we used to call it in the second grade.
Right. Cursive.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
They don't teach that. A lot of schools aren't teaching it.
How do you sign something?
I guess, John Doe written in big letters. I don't know, but what I see
distinctive about something like that.
This is what I feel like I'm seeing. Feel like I'm seeing a trend in, it's Charlie, education, not so much balancing the grammar as they are with other things. It's just amazing to me, some of the stuff I read, and I'm like, who wrote this? A third grader?
Good morning, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, how are you?
How's sheets dry yet? Charlie's this morning.
Charlie, you're doing laundry this time of morning in California?
Good for Charlie.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. No, I bought sheets off Amazon. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Do you ever buy brand new sheets? Do you immediately sleep in them, or do you wash them first?
Well, you should wash them first.
I have to say that I
You
usually
don't.
just put them on the bed.
Well, my wife takes care of that because
Yes.
I can't make a bed very well. If I make a bed, she will remake it. Trust me. So she takes
No, I
care,
think you
care
gotta-
of stuff.
You should wash them
Yeah, I
first.
watched them. I think there's a lot of like Chinese chemicals
Right.
on the sheets. You got to wash them anyway. But hey, guess what? You know, I'm thinking about politics earlier, and I'm
Ugh.
thinking about this. I was thinking about this wonderful man who truly gets where we are in today's society. Like if you said, "Yeah, you guys know who Spencer Pratt is, correct?
Have we ever done what? I'm sorry.
Right.
You guys know who Spencer Pratt is, right?"
Spencer
Pratt?
Pratt. No, I'm gonna look him
Apparently
up
I
real
don't.
quick. I
He's
think
running for mayor of Los Angeles.
I was
Well,
gonna
definitely
say
I don't know
mayor.
who it is.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay, that's fine. He's like, okay. So I was thinking about politicians
Oh,
that
I
are
know what I was
spry,
talking about.
that have a long stride in their step. And I was thinking about this one gentleman named Mitch McConnell, who's 84 years old.
Yep.
I really believe that he gets where we are in society. I think he wakes up, and I think he could, like, maybe write 15 to 60 pages about where we are in humanity. Actually, I'm making a joke. I don't think this guy could even spell Campbell soup. I think this guy is an absolute clown. It's so sad. They're propping that he's 84 years old, and he still has a voice in the United States Senate.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do all these senators say, you know what? Listen, let's keep it to 1 or 2 terms.
Well, we can argue the term thing, and I'm going to agree with you in most cases. As far as just because he's 84 years old, my God, Jacques Cousteau was diving when he was 85.
Gotcha.
There was a gentleman that used to come down to the marina, and he would drive his 1964 pickup truck that he worked on himself and kept it running, pulling the boat that he launched himself and went out fishing by himself. He was 95 years old. My neighbor down the street walks up and down our street here on a regular basis, and he's 99, is it now?
Yeah,
He was
he's
100
yes,
either
yes.
this year or
Okay,
next year.
hold on.
Scares
Hold on.
me.
But have you
These are
seen
different
Mitch McConnell?
people.
But have you seen Mitch McConnell? Have you gone to YouTube and watched him walk down a hallway?
Yep.
Have you seen him try to put a sentence together? This guy should have retired 30 years ago.
I think
This is an
he
absolute disaster. It's an absolute joke. He has no clue where he is. He does not know where. It's just really sad. But you know what's really funny? You know this guy named Thomas Massey out of Kentucky?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I
A
do.
couple of years back, I think like maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, he basically presented some sort of, I don't know how laws work in Congress, but he said, we need to keep these people under term limit. And he basically said people in his position, they should only be allowed in different term limits. This guy's been around for a long time. You guys know who Lauren Bobbitt is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you start changing things like term limits or put a term on something, because there's a federal law about that.
Well, he's had 40 years, and Mitch McConnell is retiring into this year.
I'm talking about as far as us or the
Right.
Senate or the House deciding what a term limit's going to be. No, that's going to have to be up to the people and a constitutional amendment.
Exactly.
Because it is written that it will be 6 years for a senator and 2 years for a congressman.
So you guys know that Lauren Bobbitt, she's basically back in Kentucky trying to promote Thomas Massey. You know what's great about Thomas Massey? You guys know the New York Times is very liberal, right? It's extremely liberal. Right? You know that, right?
It is.
They have bad writings.
They promoted him. There lots of Democrats. And it's really funny because I guess there's something out there with, there's this online reporter. Her name is Laura Loomer. And she's got, I guess, millions of followers. It turns out that Lauren Bobbitt, she's back in Kentucky trying to get Thomas Massey, we got to get him into office. Turns out they had sex.
What?
Turns out they have what?
They had sex.
SEX.
He basically said,
Sex.
I would like to make love to you, and then they love, And, Trump supports both these people, and she's basically there holding his hand up high, saying, no. It's funny. There's so many Democratic committees that they're basically saying we stand by Massey. Why would okay, we all know the Democrats and the Republicans, they're all different in their opinions.
Where
in the last 10 years, they've never come together in anything. But there's this large consortium of Democrats saying, Thomas Massey's a good person. We'd like you to support him. It's bizarre. I hope this guy loses. I don't really understand the dynamics of what makes him a monster. Something about him I don't trust. Lauren Bobbitt I don't trust. Marjorie Taylor Greene I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, Charlie, why do you trust Donald Trump? I don't trust Donald Trump. He's too liberal for me. He's way too liberal for me. I think he's got some good things, but all these people are out of their minds. They want to destroy the United States of America. I don't know what their agenda is. Do you know what their agenda is?
Self-promotion, self-esteem, and they don't have
Power.
either. They just want power. That's
Power.
all. They want to go down and say, I was in charge.
Well, by the end of tonight, we'll find out whether Thomas Massey remains. Selection day in Kentucky. Primary.
But what do you think the ultimate goal of the Democratic Party is? Like, the Hakeem Jeffries, Barack Obama. Do they just want to destroy the United, dismantle it?
They don't. Seriously, Charlie, you think that anybody thinks very far down the road? They do not. They don't look at 10 years from now. They don't look at 4 years from now. If they had, then I'll tell you what, Trump would never have been president if the Democrats had been half smart. They weren't. If they had been half smart, they never would have put the only person out there they could find to run against Trump in 2020, and that was Joe Biden, who was a born-again loser and made the Democrats look even worse. He wasn't a good senator. He was a nothing. He was a nothing vice president, but they ran him for his name only just so they could get a Democrat in the White House. And that hurt them in 2024. If they had found somebody to run for 2024 in the beginning and just let Trump do Trump's thing and have his second term right then, all of that hoopla would never have happened. I said it at that time, and I still maintain that. Give the man, let him run himself out. He didn't do that much in the first term because, the Democrats were successful in putting a bridle around him and choking him to death with everything from lawsuits to impeachment processes. But just let him go through. He would have been reelected. He almost was anyway. And then the Democrats would have not had to put up with Biden and screwing up the Democrat Party for at least 4 years, of which they did.
Humanity is very odd. I mean, obviously we're born, if we're lucky, we might live to be 80 years of age. Chances are our brains fall apart at 70 years of age. It's just bizarre how we dictate who's in charge of our lives, who we follow, the people that we want to lead us. The whole thing, it's just a bizarre, I don't know what the wording is or the definition. It's just bizarre who we follow.
When did you first vote? Were you 18 or were you 21? I don't know how old you
voted
are.
only one. I voted one time in my life. That was for Trump a few years ago, or 1 year ago.
Okay, now when were you eligible to vote? 18 or at 20?
Yeah,
21.
18. Yeah, 18.
Okay, so you're still a young'un. But when they changed the voting age so that high school seniors could vote, I'm trying to think of one who knows enough in high school at 18 years of age or a college freshman who knows enough. I mean, you ask them, they do. They know it all. I mean, I always said, teenagers, you know it all. Why don't you just quit school and get a job now while you still are smarter than the rest of the world? But they don't ever do that. But
I don't want to give too much information about me, but I think I was smarter than most. I actually used to write. Be very careful how you say this. I wrote for the Los Angeles Times, satirical comedy in my 20s.
Oh.
I want to say too. I've always been very conservative. Although my background, you would say, Charlie, you should be a liberal. The whole thing is, I'm just fascinated by it. Thomas Massey, who I like, who I didn't think I would like, Fetterman.
Oh, I like Fetterman, John Fetterman.
I just like him because he's outspoken and he he has common sense and it comes
It's
through.
his common sense.
Remember when he ran against Dr. Oz? Everybody, most conservatives wanted Dr. Oz to win. There's something, obviously, he's very pro-Israel. And he probably hates his party because, they want death to all Jews for the most part. They're not going to say it outright. But, yeah, they kind of really do. But he's an interesting person. I guess he had a stroke, and he had some mind-type problems. But he seems like an interesting I don't know. He seems like an interesting person.
Sure. All right, we're running out of time here, Charlie.
Yep. Thank you, Charlie.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye. 910-333-0139.
I knew
Please give us a
Spencer
call.
Pratt.
Yeah, we need to talk to y'all. Y'all need to call in. My goodness gracious. You heard Charlie, you've heard us, and you've read the news. Are you as disenfranchised with some of the things that's going on as we are? Are you happy? Or what do you where do you see us? What do you think we should be doing in this country?
Well, it's Steve. And I remember us talking about Spencer Pratt last week. He's a young man. He's a television reality star, and he's running for mayor there because his house was burnt down in the Palisades fire.
It is me.
And
Okay.
you got
I think at least. Let me check my driver's license.
you got Marty calling on the other line.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put two of you on together for just a second,
Yeah,
Steve,
'cause
if
Marty
I could.
might-
Okay.
Hey, Marty, I got
Hello.
you and Steve on at the same time this morning. How are you doing?
Doing good. I was going to give you an age update. I talked to Mr. Pelletier about 2 evenings ago.
Yes.
And I thought he was 96. He's 97.
Oh, 97. Okay, I knew he was
97.
he's beating on 100 years the door in a hurry. Okay, good.
I tell you what, he's got a sharp mind and gets
He
around
does.
pretty doggone good for
you know,
somebody.
I
When
should.
he sees me coming down the street, he'll wait for me, and then we have a nice
I
time.
wish I could get around as well as he
Sure.
does, and my mind was as sharp as his. All right, Marty,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. I knew he was
All right,
on up
thank you.
there. Bye.
Thank you, Marty.
That's my next door neighbor, also known as my son-in-law. There, Steve.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. I don't know at all. I couldn't hear him, though, so I don't know exactly
Oh,
what he said.
you couldn't hear him?
No, I couldn't hear him at all.
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had that all fixed. We'll have to try
Well,
that
how's
one
the
more
garden
time.
going, Steve?
I got you.
How's your
Hope y'all
garden?
having a good. How's my garden?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is growing like crazy. So far, so good.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very good.
I think I know what I didn't do, but I got it. Another
It's
caller,
cool.
we'll find out.
It's cool.
Okay.
I got it.
What's going on? What else is happening? Your garden is good. We got a water.
Yeah. It's doing fine. I was going to ask y'all if y'all had heard about the $1.8 billion fund that the Justice Department has started to pay back Trump and other people who feel like they were unjustifiably targeted by the Biden administration.
Huh?
The
What?
Justice Department has started it. You just started
It was a settlement. Trump, who was suing the IRS,
Okay.
and they had decided to start a $1 fund for people who felt like they were unjustifiably targeted.
Okay, for other people too.
For other people other than Trump.
Okay.
But $1.8 billion taxpayer dollars with no judge. This was Trump's own Justice Department made this deal with Trump. I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it sure smells bad.
If there's going to be, well, he's going to get. I mean, if he gets money back, that's one thing. It won't be a drop in the bucket for whatever. For him, he won't really care. But I think for a lot of folks out there who may have been in their minds, unjustly targeted, or that the courts have ruled that they were not guilty of anything, or whatever the negotiations were, then it's going to open a keg of worms. Not a can, a keg.
Yeah, it said the fund is seen as both a political and legal oddity.
Yeah, it's very. There are lots of cases where people sue because they were unjustly accused of something, and there was no probable cause, for instance, for what was done or whatever.
Lord.
That's in criminal cases. In civil cases, you go after the other party, of course.
Right.
This is going
to bypass any kind of judiciary review.
well, it's got to have
My understanding.
congressional approval. So it'll
Yeah.
probably go into a committee and sit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But in summary, it says the $1.8 billion fund is a settlement-linked compensation program for individuals alleging political targeting. That'll be most everybody that's ever run for anything.
That will be me because I've been politically targeted too.
Well, like I say, that's a lot of money,
It is.
and the largest defamation settlement was the one Fox paid out, and this is more than double that.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
But do you think that people like Fox or any of the networks or any businesses or I mean, what about a businesses? And there are places where some businesses, privately owned businesses, will put up on their marquees various political allegations against individuals, elected officials or otherwise. That's I've seen that in country and pictures across the country. But what do you think about going after people like that?
I think we have a system in place where if you've been wrong, you can file civil suit, and then you go before a judge. I don't understand this enormous amount of money, how this is going,
Well,
how this is going to work. If they just one person going to decide that they're going to pay this money out to people they won't pay it out to, very suspect of that.
I think that'll be a congressional approval. But for instance, if the city of Jacksonville is sued for a wrongful whatever, and the chances are really good that the city's insurance company and the city itself will negotiate without ever seeing a judge. They don't like seeing judges.
I understand that, but that's a case by case basis. It troubles me that they're going to have a fund where all these people can apply outside of the court. Like the class action suit.
Well, let's take the
without actually having a judge, issue an order for a class action suit.
Let's take
own people.
Let's take the case of the Camp Lejeune water system.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you think they took that case by case for all the settlements that were made?
I understand it became a class action type suit.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is. That's what I'm saying. If you look at it on the face of it, it's kind of it's one sided. It's not the normal process. It's not what you would normally see in a class action suit, which is what this is mimicking, but not the same.
Well, I don't think.
But anyway,
I don't think I've seen political politics brought into any of the cases. I don't think I've ever seen a settlement. Or even probably, well, yeah, I guess Fox News did. Fox News had a settlement.
Well, that was defamation. Yeah, that was defamation for an individual company.
Yeah.
But it didn't necessarily cover everybody who wanted to claim that. They still have other suits.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was one thing I wanted to ask you if you heard about. Another thing I
have not heard about it, but that's
all right. It might be an interesting read. But another thing I thought about is the $1 billion for the ballroom. That the narrative is that it's going to only be used for security. That it's not going to be used for the construction of the ballroom. And I sure wish they would come out with more details on that, because I could see how somebody would easily say those bulletproof windows are security measures. part of the original cost estimate was, at least the security for the East Wing having to be replaced. Of course they were going to upgrade it when they replaced it, but how that was not part of the original cost. But anyway, that's kind of the thought that's on my mind about that, is every time they come out and say something, it just don't make sense more.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
We'll have to wait and see if it's going to happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they're still working on a bill.
I personally, if I was in the current administration's shoes, I would say, you know what, y'all take it up and I'm gone. I'll be out of here. It'll be your ball of wax on January 21st, 2029. See ya.
And I'll tell you, that's something that's funny to me, guys, is that the story is that this is something that everybody's wanted for a really, really long time, but I can't find anybody mentioning tearing down the East Wing and building a ballroom anywhere before the past year.
I don't remember tearing down anything. I don't remember any details. I just remember that they talked about getting having a facility that would be and I think security has been coming up more and more over the years, and actually since 2020, 9/11, to be honest with you, they've done so much more to harden so much that we can't even talk about. But
Right. And the question immediately I think of is if we needed security upgrades that bad, why were we worrying about a ballroom? Why was that not the priority? Security not the priority above building a ballroom?
well, if you're going to have things like big state dinners or anything where else that you've got to
Right.
that you've got to have a large gatherings. There were folks. Do you remember they got a little bit concerned about even showing up here after the shooting and after the attack this last go on? There were, what was it, England? They said they were going to back out of whatever the next gathering was going to be, but they came through after they were assured everything was safe. But they weren't even, he backed out of coming to Washington because of that.
Right.
There were security concerns with other nations, and what better venue than to have a bomber, a crazy man, check into a hotel and blow that place up? It wouldn't take that much. Think about China and the little nuclear devices they've already produced, the small suitcase things. Check into the Washington Hilton and blow that sucker up right in the middle of a big dinner with a nuclear device.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but you can't bubble wrap the president. You build a secure ball.
That's not just the president. That's everybody else is going to be there.
I understand that, but you still have presidents have to go to functions and presidents to rallies.
Yep.
And, you can't bubble wrap them. So building one facility that is secure is not going to secure the president.
Steve, you're missing my point here.
I get what your point is, but you're missing the point of that. What about all the other times that he has to leave the White House and go somewhere else? If they can't secure, let me finish. If they can't secure a facility that's not the White House for him to go into, that's an issue in itself. The security breakdown that happened at the Correspondence Center was a security failure.
Yep.
It was not the building's fault. It was the security team that was their fault. So, I mean, if they can't secure the facilities he goes to, the president's always going to go to places other than the White House.
Sure.
That's just the nature of it. So their inability to secure wherever he's going to is the problem. Fortifying one structure ain't going to solve that problem.
And
would you agree with that?
And my point is simple. The president, one person, I mean, it's great to have the president, and we certainly don't want him to get hurt, don't want him to get killed. That just is a major problem for us.
That's right.
However, he is just one person. When you have a ballroom full of correspondents, for one thing, how big is that black eye going to be? But if you've got a room full of leaders from around the world, and somebody takes it out, whether the president's even there or not, but if the president is there and they target the president, there's going to be collateral damage. Yes, the president as an individual, there is no way to completely protect one individual. It's been tried. It will never be completely possible because there are suicidal individuals out there that will do anything. And there have been attempts. I mean, you don't think that guy sitting on the roof up there in Pennsylvania had any idea that he was going to live through that situation? No. Regardless of what had occurred. If his bullet had struck home, he would have still been dead on the spot. And he knew that. He's stupid, but he's not an idiot.
Yeah. I hate to assume what somebody was thinking that was insane. But I follow what you're saying. A normal person would have known that was a suicide mission.
Yeah. Well, I can't label him insane by law.
Right.
But
I think anybody who does something like that, there's something wrong with them.
Oh, we know that.
Like, you might not be able to tell it talking to them in a few minutes, but there's something definitely wrong.
Yeah.
But my biggest point is that what we needed to fix it with that situation at the Correspondence Center is the Secret Service's ability to secure a facility that's not the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that every president is going to have to do, and just securing the White House ain't fixing that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where I was with that, and all that money and everything they're spending that we supposedly didn't have to spend. Also seems a little odd in itself.
There's an unlimited bank account, and we provide the money for it.
That's right.
Well, it's like as long as it's what they want to spend the money on, it's fine, even if they spend more than anybody's ever spent before. After telling us that spending is out of control,
mm-hmm.
then they're going to spend this, all this money on these things like this. Don't sound like they're trying to save money. It sounds like they're just trying to get their arm deeper in the cookie jar.
Wow.
And I ain't never trusted either side. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you. Y'all spoke about Joe Biden and his first presidency. I'm going to tell you right now, it was a failure on the Democrats and Joe Biden that he did not keep his promise of only serving one term. And honestly, I didn't want the Democrats to win, but I didn't want Trump to beat a Republican that won. And that was why in the primary I voted for Nikki Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Really would have rather seen Chris Christie, but I knew he didn't stand a snowball's chance.
Yeah, he was tainted. He was done.
He was over that Bridgegate thing.
Yeah,
and I mean, in our political climate, is that not just such a minor political infraction nowadays?
That's all it takes.
I mean, back then, that's all it took.
Yeah.
They can do much worse now, and nobody cares.
Yep.
So,
okay, sir.
all right, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you for your time.
Yep.
Go
Go water your garden.
I'm going to get a moisture meter right now. I think the one I got has been lying.
I want to hear tomorrow about that one.
I want to know about this.
I want to hear tomorrow about it. They got them.
Y'all ain't never had a moisture meter?
I've never had one, but I know they got them, and I want to hear about it.
They're great because you can see what the moisture is like 10, 12 inches down in the soil.
Yeah, I just dig a hole, stick my finger down there.
I do too, but I've found that can be misleading.
Oh, absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Moisture meter.
I want to hear more about it.
Yes.
I'll tell y'all about it tomorrow.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Y'all have a
sounds
blessed
good.
day.
Bye.
I just looked it up and it says
I wonder what that sucker would do during the hurricane with all the rain that comes down. Blow up?
probably spin around like crazy. Yeah. Past presidents have tried to renovate the White House ballroom. Notably, President Harry Truman undertook major structural renovations in the 50s.
Why did he do that?
Which major structural renovations.
Why did he do that?
Which including gutting and reconstructing the interior. So that was in the 50s.
Do you remember the Puerto Ricans that came and tried to get to the White House?
No. Additionally, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy led a historic furnishing restoration in the 60s, which aimed to return public spaces to their original state. Mm-hmm. Most recently, President Donald Trump proposed a significant renovation to replace the East Wing with a new, larger ballroom, which is being paid for by private donors. Mm-hmm. So There's not been a lot of reconstruction. I mean, a lot of
No, the actual ballroom, the physical construction, honestly, it is like the Onslow County Sheriff's Office.
yes.
You know that originally with the sheriff's in his office down at ground floor, there was no security there for the windows or anything else. Did you know that?
No.
He's a sitting duck. He was.
Mm-hmm.
That got changed afterwards. Of course, that was an increase. And I think it was paid for privately. Okay.
Okay.
So little things like that come up. And it should have been thought about in the very beginning. I don't know who drew these plans. Where did these plans come from for the ballroom? Is that something that Trump came up with, or is that something been in a word? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I guess it does.
Don't know.
Let's go offshore.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
the
go
water's out there in
swimming.
Oslo Bay, out to 60 nautical miles, where I love to play when I can get out there. That's where the Big Rock is, and we're going to be talking more about the Big Rock Blue
Love the
Marlin
Big
tournament coming up.
Rock. Yay.
Is it the end of this month or 1st of June? I forgot.
First week in June.
Okay, that's when it
starts.
is. Okay. So anyway, we'll be talking about that, and we'll have to get online to make sure we got everything under wraps here. We got a
Nice.
fairly decent week weather-wise here. We're just in the beginning, the second day of it, so there's going to be at least 3 days. That includes today and tomorrow, where you could get out there near the Big Rock or on the Big Rock or wherever you want to go offshore out to 60 nautical miles. You guys have pretty decent conditions. Southerly winds today, 5 to 10 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet. Southwesterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. By noon, you might want to, kind of put the offshore on your stern and start moving back towards land. Okay, seas 3 to 4 feet. A slight chance of showers, and in showers or thunderstorms, there could be some increased winds. Bigger winds mean nastier seas. Thursday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming southerly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 3 to 4 footers, a chance of showers.
Today, cloudy through the morning, then gradually clearing this afternoon with a high near 87 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 63. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 88. Thursday, a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 89. And Thursday night, we have another chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 66. Now, these percentages have been dropping through the week for showers.
Chance of showers is less now than it was.
Yes, Friday look more of a shower day. And of course, Saturday festivities going on outside. So we're
Memorial Day. That's not this weekend.
we have one this weekend in the town of Swansboro by the Bicentennial Park, at the Bicentennial Park.
A Memorial Day.
Yes.
Memorial Day is the last Monday.
It depends on what day it falls on.
Well, it always falls on Monday.
Yes, it does. It's the last Monday, but they're having the services the weekend.
2 weeks in advance.
No, wait, wait a minute.
Get your calendar out there.
No,
girl.
I know it's the 23rd. I've advertised it.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
Well, the next it's the second.
Memorial Day is the 25th of May. The 25th of May this year. The Swansboro, town of Swansboro.
Is that the fourth Monday in May?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's
See, it
why.
all depends. 1, 2, 3, 4. It all depends on the
'Cause
calendar.
we have 5 Mondays.
As I learned last week.
We have 5. Yeah, we have 5 Mondays in May this year. Right?
No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Mondays. What's messed me up? The first day of May started on a Friday this year.
Okay. What's the last day of May?
The last day of
31st
May
is what
was the
day of the week?
31st on a Sunday.
So, okay, that's the problem.
Yes, so that's why Memorial Day is
It is
being
on the
celebrated
last-
on the
last Saturday.
23rd. Yeah,
That's right. Last Sunday.
right.
Monday.
Last Monday.
Well, we're just talking about Mark Furman. Were you and I talking about?
Yes, we were. We talked about him a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
we did. The ex-LA detective that screwed up the O.J. Simpson murder case is dead.
Yes.
Age 74, he passed away. Are people dying at younger and younger ages these days? 74 is still kind of young. And you know what? Oh, well. What's up with all this? You read the obituaries, and people younger than I am, people younger than you are, they're just dropping like flies. You see, that Hollywood set, those people out there, they show up on Dancing Stars one time and they die next year, and then
Pray for Dancing Stars.
and then you got
Right.
doing other little TV sitcoms and little shows here and shows there, little actors here and actresses there, dying at 25, 30, 40 years. Athletes dropping like flies, retired athletes dropping like flies.
Right.
What's going on? Anyway, whatever. Furman, you may recall, or you may have read about it since you're not that old, back in 1995,
I watched
maybe you
that.
just don't even care, was at the center of the case involving O.J. Simpson when he found a bloody glove in the wet grass outside the murder scene. Not at the murder scene itself, but at nearby. Furman had been suffering from what was described as an aggressive form of throat cancer, and that's what got him. During the trial for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson, his wife, or estranged wife, and Ron Goldman, what was he, a gardener or something, pool boy or whatever, Furman said he found the glove in question at Simpson's Rockingham estate nearby. Prosecutors said the item matched another glove found at the scene where the two victims were murdered. Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson were murdered because she was at his house. She was no longer part of O.J. Simpson's marriage.
Right.
I don't know whether they were divorced yet or not, but they weren't together.
Right. I don't think they were divorced.
I don't know. And anyway, the hanky-panky was apparently going on, and O.J. didn't like it. Prosecutors, though, said that glove matched another glove found at the scene where the two victims were murdered. They were matching gloves. One of them was found near O.J.'s house. The other one was found at the murder scene. They were matching gloves.
They were divorced.
Furman's credibility was pretty much destroyed because he lied when he was under oath. He denied that he'd ever used that infamous N-word.
Right.
But he had been talking to a reporter, and when he was talking to a reporter, he was wired. The reporter had a microphone.
He should have known better.
You should have known better. He should have known better.
That's
the world
right.
should have known better. And in the conversation, he used the N-word. So on the stand, of course, that tape recording was provided to the prosecution, which I'm not sure why a reporter would be doing that. He becomes part of the story and he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be covering the story, not be a part of the story. That tape was revealed. Furman said that after that he was questioned, noting that he had been caught lying once. Every time it came up when Furman was on the stand after it was proven that he was a liar. Well, Mr. Furman, Detective Furman, you're telling me that you found this glove there. Yes. Have you ever lied under oath? Oh, yeah. Well, how do we know you're not lying now?
Right,
That will
right.
haunt you for the rest
That's
of your
right.
career. And his career ended with that case,
Yes.
by the way. He left the police department after the trial, but he stayed in the public's eye.
You know what he did?
Yeah, he was working as a true crime author and as a radio show
talk show host.
And he was called in to look into cases for his radio show and to write stories about his cases as a professional detective. And apparently, he was a dang good detective until he screwed up the case.
Yep.
And he screwed it up.
Well, during that trial, when they brought that up, the prosecution brought up tapes that they had of O.J. Simpson using racial discriminatory.
That doesn't matter.
But that's
That
the way
does
the
not
court
matter.
that doesn't
He's
matter.
dead. It doesn't matter.
We don't care.
You can't. They can't cross-examine him. They can't
Right.
bring it up.
No, this
there's
was
nothing
during
there.
the trial.
I know, but they can't cross-examine O.J. Simpson. He's dead. No, the prosecution cannot. Prosecution
Right.
cannot cross-examine him because he's not going to go on the stand.
Right, exactly. See, they brought him up, but the judge said, nope.
So what happened with that case with the glove. How did that go down?
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. And you know what? That's been a big thing in a lot of court trials.
Here's
over
the
years.
thing that I said at the time, and everybody in the world knows it who has any smarts at all. People wear gloves that are tight. You know, they fit their hands tight, right? You don't wear loose fitting gloves that fall off. So they're tight. Where did they find the glove?
OJ's yard.
Yeah, in the wet grass.
In the wet grass.
The wet grass. Leather.
Sat overnight.
Leather. And then it's stored in an evidence bin. When wet leather dries out, what happens to wet leather?
Shrinks.
It shrinks.
That's right.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that will do. I've seen them where they would have gloves and they would put them on, want to make them fit. They wet them down, then they wear them until they dry, and then they're form fitting.
I can't stand them that tight.
Well, they won't be totally tight. You can wiggle your fingers in them and keep them dry, and until they dry out. Then you're good to go. But anyway, is there no way they ain't gonna let him put them on? Put them on himself? No, he couldn't get them on. I could put on.
That was a huge production by him.
I could try to put on some gloves that are 3 sizes too big, and I could. Oh God, that you can. He was an actor. Okay, think about it. He was an actor. So anyway,
you're right.
He was found guilty of, not in that case, he was turned loose in the criminal case, but in a civil case, wrongful death.
Right.
Suit.
Yes.
By Goldman's daddy.
You know, it's amazing to me how the law works in that way. You're found innocent in a criminal case, but you can be sued.
Found not guilty. He wasn't
well,
found innocent.
Okay. He's found not guilty in the criminal case. They cannot recharge him, double jeopardy.
Correct.
But yet he could be sued and found culpable in a civil case.
He wasn't guilty of murder, but he was guilty of a wrongful death in the civil case.
But wrongful death of who? His wife and Ron
Same
Goldman.
thing, yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. It just seems wacky to me.
The jury did not have enough evidence to find him guilty of first-degree murder.
But you can find him responsible in a civil case.
They did not find him. That's the reason they say they did not find him innocent. They found him not guilty of the charge of first-degree murder.
But, you know,
doesn't mean he didn't kill him.
Once he's found not guilty or not responsible, whatever, they can't try him again. So why should a person be sued in a civil case for it? I mean, I understand, but why? Why should it be that way?
Well, it is that way. If you want to change it, you could go through and try to change the law.
If you're not guilty of murder or whatever, then it should be done and over with. Just like in the Karen Reed case, she was found not guilty by a jury twice, actually, and but yet now she's had to go through. Yep. Yes, because the first court case. There was a lot of stuff about the first court case and the jury, the way that the jury papers.
Did a jury find her not guilty?
They found her. Actually, it was like a mistrial. It was like a hunch.
Not guilty.
No, but let me tell you the reason why. When they went back and they did interviews with the jurors, and the jurors were saying, "Well, we thought we had to do this or that." There was a lot of stuff that came out of it. So technically, she was not found guilty in the first trial. The second trial, it was unanimous, not guilty. They found her not guilty.
They threw the case out. They had to have a new trial.
Yes, the second trial, it was unanimous.
Means it was a wrong trial, and it never reached a jury.
No, a mistrial. No, they called it a mistrial. I'm telling you, they called it a mistrial.
It's a mistrial.
It went to jury.
Well, not before. They didn't return a verdict.
They returned it was like a hung jury. Right.
So they had no verdict.
Well,
otherwise
the judge called it a mistrial.
Well, that's what it's called.
Right. Well, you just said it wasn't.
No, there was not a trial with a jury by ruling of a guilty or not guilty.
Oh, so that's what you meant.
It's not if they don't come back with a verdict. It was a verdictless trial.
But now they're going through all these lawsuits, both sides. I mean, people that feel like that they were unfairly accused of being a part of John O'Keefe's death, because there's been a lot of people that have run all these podcasts and stuff saying it was them, making
Now you're gonna
accusations
try
and
'em.
stuff. But most everything's been thrown out. So it was such a mess with people getting involved in far as it was just a mess. You had to have watched it.
That's the
Just
reason
like-
that on here or any other news show too,
Right.
you cannot say that a person was guilty. I know she was guilty, even though they found her not guilty. Oh
Well,
no.
It's
Because
just like
you just open yourself up to, because she's innocent in the eyes of the law.
it's just like the Alex Murdaugh trial. Now I watched every second of that 6 weeks. I gave up my life for that. It was so interesting though. But I was fascinated by it. Right away. I felt he was guilty, but I tried to go in there and watch it as a juror who knew nothing about the case. It was not easy. But anyway, he allegedly killed his wife and son June 2021 at their home.
He's accused of it.
He was found guilty in court.
Found guilty
He was
of it.
found guilty. He was sentenced to life.
He was convicted murderer.
He also had 2 other sentences against him, one for 20, one for 40 for financial fraud and misdoings.
Insurance frauds, probably.
And no, they were that, and it was a whole slew of things. Well, anyway, the South Carolina Supreme Court just threw his conviction for murder out. Threw it out because of Becky Hill, who was the clerk of court at the time during the trial. There was accusations made after the trial, which they were able to prove, the investigators and et cetera, that she used undue influence on the jurors. She was in the midst of writing a book about it.
Been with him?
No,
Oh, okay.
not that I know of. I don't know. Ugh. But anyway, let's not go down that road. Anyway, she was trying to influence. She decided she was going to write a book about the trial. She was still clerk of court. So she was trying to unduly influence jurors into voting that he was guilty.
How did she do that?
Well, for an example, she became friendly with them all. She would bring, this is just how it started. She would bake stuff, bring it into the jury room. First of all, clerk of court, you should have no dealings with the jury except for the formalities like you'll meet in this room,
it's
we'll
South
break at
Carolina.
12. Well, anyway, so then there was one juror that she didn't like because there was some animosity there. So she went to the judge and lied to the judge about this juror, and the judge ended up throwing the juror off. Okay, so it kept building. The day that Alex Murdaugh was to get on the stand and testify on his own behalf, she told the jurors, look, Alex is going to testify today. I want you to watch his body actions. I want you to watch his eyes because you know he's lying. He's lying. And so it progressed from there. Anyway, she wrote the book with the help of a ghostwriter. She started doing television circuits and interviews and stuff like that. And anyway, they got her. Oh, and not only that, there was a document that was sealed by the court that they proved she leaked to the news media. Yeah, we call her Courthouse Becky is her nickname. Courthouse Becky. But she got 3 years probation for all that because they tried her. They charged her. She got 3 years probation and, of course, restitution, but she has to pay that. But
She had to pay for that whole trial?
No.
That could be millions of dollars.
Yeah, it could be, but no, and that's what gets me. She should be liable for some of that. But now the South Carolina courts have ordered a new trial. And now Alex Murdaugh is suing Courthouse Becky
Good for him.
for violating his constitutional rights.
Good for him.
That'll help pay for his attorneys, I'm sure.
Well, how is he going to get it? from
Yeah,
her?
he's going to
She's
get
not
the money for
employed.
her. But I mean, I'm saying that I'm sure that's a lot of reason why he's doing it. But yeah, I mean,
Well, the reason he's doing
got,
it is because just in case he's found not guilty, in case he is proven not
Right.
guilty, and she ever writes her book, she gets off probation and she starts making money off of it.
Right, he can take that.
And
yeah,
he can take
exactly.
that.
I don't think she's going to go. Courthouse Becky's done herself in. I mean,
Nah,
she
could write a
was.
book. She'll be a perfect author. You'd buy it.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, you wait
I
for the
wouldn't.
movie.
I don't have to buy the book. You just go to the podcasters who handle all this. They'll read it for you. They'll tell you everything you need to know. Why buy the book? But yeah, I watched that case from beginning to end, and I wasn't into it maybe after they got through the jury selection, because that takes a week. But when they actually got into the testimony, I was like, this guy's guilty. But yeah, there's been so many documentaries and so many movies made on this case that how in the world are they going to retry him? I mean, they'll find a jury somewhere.
Well, they
They'll
could get a
find
jury. I
people.
mean, they could put me on the jury. I don't know that much about the details,
Oh, well,
except what you've said. I haven't read anything about it. I
it's
don't
a
care.
fascinating case. It's you know what got him, though? What got him was his
He
wife
killed him.
was living elsewhere at the time.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to the beach house for a while. They were having issues because she was finding through her son where Alex had hidden drugs. He had a drug habit, pain pills. And it started when he had surgery years before, and the doctor gave him pain pills.
So he have a drug habit, or was he hooked on prescription drugs?
He was hooked on prescription drugs.
Okay, so
he
was
was
still getting the prescription drugs.
No, he was having to buy them off the streets.
Okay, so now he's illegally doing
Yes. So that's where he started embezzling the
it.
lawyers' money. I mean, his partners, because he had a partnership.
He was a lawyer.
Yes, started embezzling money there, and then went on to, like, he would say you were in a car accident and you broke your back, you were in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You come to him and said, I want to sue the trucking company that did this. So he would take on the case, sue the company. The checks come into the office, the lawyer's office first.
Yep.
He was depositing them and taking the money.
All
And the
of it?
people, yes. And the people would come in and say, where's my money? Well, it's going to take a while with this. And
hell.
he did a
Good
lot of
God.
that. Now, what's funny is,
He did go to prison before he committed murder.
right, well, he's in, you wouldn't believe, there was one young man whose parents, I think it was, were killed. His mother was killed in a car accident. So he was trying to raise his younger brother, and Alex sued the company of the driver that caused the accident, caused the death. And the boy kept going to it, and the boy was losing everything, had no money to support his brother. It was having to move out of the house, blah, blah, blah. Sad story. And he kept going to Alex, and Alex, you're like a son to me. I'm going to make sure you get the money, blah, blah. Alex was spending that boy's money on drugs.
The evils of the drug world.
Yes. And look, what got him.
Why didn't a doctor see that who was prescribing it?
Well, yeah, then.
It should be a time that you start weaning people.
But see,
off
then
that
he
stuff.
started buying it on the streets, and he was
understand
buying
that.
it like. He was paying thousands and thousands of dollars every week for drugs.
If the doctor had weaned him off of it in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why nowadays, Rayford,
you can't do that. Yeah.
if you go and you break a bone, they give you 2 pills. Here, make this last.
and then you come back and you say, Doc, here's the situation. You
Take Tylenol.
Yeah.
Take Tylenol. Take
Yep.
extra strength Tylenol.
arthritis.
Twice a day. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Don't forget Weather Radio Wednesday tomorrow, the 20th. It's at Emerald Isle. It's at the Sound Ace Hardware Store there in WCTI, and the group there, led by Chief Meteorologist Donnie Cox, they're going to be on scene with a bunch of ham radio dudes. They're going to be out there programming radios. So,
Yep.
The gentleman that I talked to this morning was named Pat. The new ham that's in the area.
Was
he's a
it
gentleman.
Ken? Chris?
Oh.
I don't know. I wrote everything down but his name. I'll have to look it up again.
Anyway, we got a new guy. He called in this morning. He heard us talking, so he called in, and we chatted with him for a few minutes after the fact and invited him to come to the ham radio
Right.
club meeting. That's going to be on the 6th of June. We'll be talking about that because that's another really important day.
I remember his last name well.
Yeah, I do too. Patino.
Yes, Bettina.
But it's not any kin to
Ellie.
Ellie. QRZ.com. KR4IC.
I got it right
Okay,
here.
what's his first name? Pat?
Mark.
Mark. I knew that. That is one of those names. Hey, Mark. Sorry about
Yes,
that. If
yes.
you're listening this morning, welcome. Welcome to the area. Well, you've been living in the area, lives in Holly Ridge.
Yes.
Holly Ridge.
Yes, I tried because I wanted to get his email, which is not listed, so I can send him.
Yeah,
some
Mark, if you're
information.
listening, if you want to send us an email or a text message or whatever, we'll give us your email address. We'll get you an invite to the club meeting so you'll know where it is and all that sort of good
Right.
stuff. And anybody, if you're ham, a new ham, if you're ham in training, a hit, as was my lady to my left here,
From hit to ham.
from hit to ham, she hit the ham.
Right.
And then if you want to be a ham, you want to join the ranks of the amateur radio community, feel free to hit us up. Pardon the pun, but we'd love to help you out. I think we're going to convert Pat. We're going to
Chris.
convert Chris, aren't we?
Right.
I think he wants to do it now. That'd be interesting to have 100% of us are hams in here.
Be cool.
Probably the only
Something
bet that
is
might be
making me
the only-
itch like crazy.
only regular podcast, not a ham radio podcast, but
Right.
the only regular podcast in the country like that. We'll have to find out if that's the case. We'll get some publicity out of it too. Matters not too much what your political views are. I don't really care, but there are some sacred grounds that neither you nor I should wipe our dirty feet on, right? New York's mayor, Zohran Mamdani, he has not learned. He's a socialist, and he's learning things the hard way. His Honor decided to criticize Ronald Reagan for the famous quote that cautioned about the dangers of big government. Standing here this morning, the mayor said, I cannot help but think of the words of our 40th president, Ronald Reagan. He famously said the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. To which the mayor said, I disagree. He said he was going to use the power of his government to lower prices. His goal is to make it easier to put food on the tables of the people in New York. That's great. I was thrilled to hear about that part. How he intends to do that is what Ronald Reagan warned us about. It's scary. Back during his campaign, he promised a chicken in every pot or whatever. He promised that he was going to set up affordable government-run grocery stores throughout the city of New York. The first such store will open in the Bronx next year. It's got a 20,000 square foot space for groceries. His plan before his term is up is to build 5 such stores run by the taxpayers by the city of New York. 5 such stores have been promised. The mayor's already getting some feedback. Think about this. 5 government-run food stores cannot supply the whole city, number one. And those stores, which will be run by government-paid employees, will be competing with other supermarkets. Now, these stores are going to be, they're touting that they're going to be selling product for less money because the taxpayers are paying for the government employees who are going to be working there.
The government.
How's this going to turn out? I don't think it will survive his first term in office for this one to happen.
Well, it's New York. I don't know.
The kind of marketplace like this hasn't done so well in communist-run countries. They've tried it. They do it. Maybe the socialists can prove just how close socialism is to
Right.
communism. That's what's going to happen. But imagine being a grocery store, because five stores cannot serve all of New York. But there's going to be a run at every one of those stores come every day of the week when they get new stock, right?
Right.
Because everybody's going to come from everywhere. Is he going to limit access to those stores to people of a certain persuasion, people who don't have money? How is he going to do it? How would you run a store like that? To keep out the billionaires, the millionaires, or the people who can afford to buy the groceries at other stores at inflated prices that are already there. What are the other grocery stores going to think? How are they going to survive? Are they going to have to lower their prices? Are they going to have to cut people? Are they going to have to reduce wages for these people?
Very good questions. I have no answers for any of that. I don't understand what he's trying to do.
He wants to be a communist country. That's what he calls it, socialism. It's communism. I don't care how you sell it, Mr. Mayor. You're a commie.
I just think that we'll wait and see how it works.
Oh,
So
no,
how's
we
that
won't.
work?
They will. We're not going to be subjected to that.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, Sammy, if you try that, Mr. Mayor, I'm coming to get you. We'll have a sit down.
Speaking of Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, His Honor.
tonight, starting at 5:30, is a city council
You're
meeting.
going to be there?
No, I have
You
to
gotta
go
be
to
somewhere
Wilson, North Carolina. But
You
there,
don't care about what happens in Jacksonville, do you?
I'll be listening. I'm going to be. I watched the county commissioners meeting last night as I was in Lenore County. Put it on my phone, and you got closed caption. So
So you were reading while you were driving?
no, this was while I was at the meeting.
Oh, okay.
in Lenore, and I'll do the same tonight. Well, I can listen to the first hour of it, and then the rest I'll have to watch on my phone. Or I can listen to it on the way back too. But tonight is public comment
Earbuds.
on the HB. I have earbuds, but I don't like to wear them. On the HB 1038, the proposal to move the voting for the city from wards to all at large. So from what I understand, there's going to be a large group there. They're going to wish they had a bigger room.
Well, is this group going to come from outside these wards, or are going to be people from inside the wards? I mean, what's they going to
Have to wait and see.
Here's what I predict: if there's going to be a large group of people, it's going to be stacked.
Well,
that the general population of the city will not show up because
You're right.
It should not be.
It's going to be different groups. You've got
It'll be a certain group.
there's going to be different groups that are, and what these groups, if they were smart, they would have one person speak for all the group, which is what I'm sure they'll do. Because if you're getting up just to repeat what the first person said, is just
We're going to shut you down.
Right, they're going to ask you to stop. But it'll be interesting to listen to the public speaking tonight on this. I'd like to hear what both sides have to say. And I just hope everybody's peaceful. And let's not be ugly.
Talk about tomorrow. Y'all need to go down there and just get yourselves arrested.
Right.
We want to talk about you tomorrow.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Did you hear what he said?
You do know that one of the city council members, he's still a sworn police officer, right? Retired. I bet you.
Oh yes.
He can make an arrest.
Yes. Right.
Maybe two of them.
Well,
Sammy's sworn. Sammy's retired.
just everybody take your chill pill tonight. City council, take your chill pill tonight before you go. I mean, I will say the city council are not the ones who requested this.
I did.
So, and like I've seen.
Who requested it then?
It was our state representatives that decided to do it.
Did the city council request them to do it?
No, from what I've learned is there was talk about it back. How long ago, I don't know.
Talk about it for quite a while.
Yes, there was, and then it was all blah, blah after the lawsuits came out. But anyway, so then we had two of our state representatives that created the bill and went ahead and introduced it. and like the city council is like going, what? What?
I'm going to refresh your memories. The city of Jacksonville is set up for city purposes into 4 wards. There are 6 council people elected by the people who live in those 4 wards. In other words, that's all of Jacksonville.
Right.
One of those wards in particular, all of the wards have approximately the same number of individuals of voting age living there. They don't have to be registered. They just have to be on the census says they live in this area.
Right.
And the city divided up those wards based upon a certain number of people in each one of the wards.
Correct.
One of the wards, whoever was in charge at the time of setting this stuff up, one of the wards in particular covers the downtown Jacksonville area. Okay,
Correct.
the downtown Jacksonville area, which has a limited number of individuals. But that ward also includes a big chunk of Camp Lejeune, New River Air Station, whatever, military, where the people are not registered to vote, but they are voting age. And they are residents of the city because somehow or another Jacksonville was able to annex Camp Lejeune.
Right.
That's weird. They don't get any money for it, but they do because we're a bigger city now, so they're eligible for more money come from the federal government. But they don't get money from Camp Lejeune itself. There's no taxes paid by the citizens. Can you imagine, you got all of Camp Lejeune. Why don't you levy a tax against all the property at Camp Lejeune? How would that work for you? No, federal government does not allow that. So that can't happen. Anywho, they all of these people there. So each one of those 4 wards has approximately number of people eligible to vote or residents of.
Yes. Yes.
Period. They could be 16 years old, I guess, and still be a resident of, but not eligible to vote. But they are people who live in those wards.
Yes.
The downtown ward has people, the typical turnout for a city election is, a municipal election, is 200 people, 300 people at the most.
If that many.
A couple hundred votes or so.
Maybe that much.
In that particular Ward 1 district.
Correct.
That includes downtown Jacksonville and a bunch of area outside that area.
Correct.
But the election is decided by a very small percentage of the number of people living in that ward.
Correct.
However, the councilman, whoever's going to be representing that ward, he answers to just those people. He only has to please that number of people to be elected.
Correct.
A small number of people.
Correct.
And the other wards, let's take Northwoods, that ward.
Northwest.
A couple thousand people or so live there.
Right.
They have to get a lot of votes. They have to get more than half of the votes to be elected in that area.
And so in that ward, like Ward 3, Ward 4, you've got to get the majority of those people living in those wards. Yep. And it's more than 128 or 200. Yep. You've got to work harder. And it's
not just that, but here's my complaint.
It's just all unique for Jacksonville.
But the guy who represents every one of these individuals in each one of the wards, they are elected only by the people who live in that ward.
Correct.
But those council people in those other wards, other than the one that I live in, those
right.
3 other council people, that's almost a majority of council. They determine what happens in my ward. If there's street issue or if there's something they want to do here or they don't like this, then they can do something or can get the ball rolling that would impact me, and I cannot vote for them or vote against them. Right? I have no say
right.
in who they are. They control me. They control me because I live in the city and I cannot vote for them.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. You could have someone up there.
That is called oppression.
Well, the thing about it is, and this is, that's why I'm in favor of all at large. We've been like that with the county commissioners for years. Just when it comes time to run for county commission, you see people come from everywhere. They're all the same. Jacksonville City is the only one that uses wards. And my thing is, open it up to anybody. If you live in the city limits, regardless of what neighborhood you live in, you can run.
Yep.
Regardless the color of your skin, you can run.
Yep.
Regardless your gender, you can run.
We have 2 people on that council. 2 of those 4 of those 6 individuals are elected by everybody in the city.
That's right.
Okay.
I've always felt that way, that open elections, everybody at large gives you a better array of, it gives you better chances of getting a great council person in there because people are more open to it. And,
Now,
if
you want to keep the ward and you want to be representing, if it's true that what you want to do is make sure that this particular district that you're elected from where you live, supposedly, if this is where you live and you're elected from that particular ward,
right,
and you want to make sure that that ward has a representative on council, I'm okay with that. However, I think the entire city's electorate should be able to vote you in or out because what you do impacts all of Jacksonville, not just that ward. So if you want to keep a ward system, then open it up that everybody can vote for you or against you.
Well, and there are people who are against taking it out of wards because they feel like that it would be a situation where a person of color would not get elected.
Oh, yeah, I know, right.
And
Richlands.
it would be a situation of certain neighborhoods not being represented in Jacksonville with issues. But, I have never seen that. Right? Okay, let's talk about the county. Have you seen any neighborhood in the county that's been ostracized by the county commissioners? Have you seen any areas in the county where there's a lot of issues?
In fact,
and we're not talking roads because county commissioners have nothing to do with roads.
Let's talk about one little community. It's not, it's not a city. It's a community.
Right.
Sneeze Ferry. They don't have a representative on anybody living in Sneeze Ferry on the commission, right?
Right.
They get a lot of attention at Sneeze Ferry, rightfully so, because they had some personal issues. They had some issues, not personal. They had some issues there, everything from drug operations to whatever. They've gotten a lot of attention. The county commissioners have put a lot of effort into making sure that that area gets attention that it needs.
Right. I just don't.
As a group.
I just don't get why we have to go back in all the years. We have to go back to the days of oppression, the days of inequality, and bring it like that's an issue now. If you want to run for mayor, if you want to run for city council, I don't care where you live, run.
Yeah, if you live in the city, yes.
And when you're elected, you represent everybody.
Yes, you do.
And you run as a representative of everyone in the city.
And if you have a particular interest in a particular part of the city that's not getting the downtown, for instance, you don't think is getting the attention that it needs or whatever, then you campaign amongst just like you do for any other community or anywhere else section of the town.
Well,
you campaign with your other city councilmen because that's what it's about. You yourself cannot run what happens in that ward.
If you have an issue with your neighborhood and you feel like, hey, the city could help us do this, do that, or whatever, get your neighbors together, talk about it, go see your city councilman, go see your mayor, go to the meetings, talk during public speaking, bring it up, make it an issue. There's a lot of committees that the city council, have people representing,
Absolutely.
and it can be taken before a committee. It can be worked on. You don't have to have one special council person to do it for you.
Okay, coming up tomorrow we've got Dr. Rose, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, Dr.
Hopefully,
Rosemary.
we're going to have a special guest tomorrow too.
Dr. Rosemary Stein.
Oh, well, she's always special.
Yeah, she's always special, but we're going to have, we'll definitely have her. And hopefully, we're going to have a lady I just want her to sit so close. She's so smart. If I can get just a little bit of that to fall off. Does she know anything about computers? Because while she's here, I got some computer issues.
Charlie, you call back tomorrow.
It's 9:00, Charlie. Our
We
time.
got to go. We have to go.
We're going to leave.
Yeah, we're going to leave the building. But I don't think she's majored in IT or
Dang it.
computers or whatever. She's very smart and beautiful young lady.
Okay.
So
Okay, we'll be hopefully having her in the studio tomorrow, and
Yes.
she's a great beauty and brains, y'all. That's all I'm going
Beauty
to tell you.
and
B&B,
brains.
beauty and
Yes.
brains. They say it's going to be all over here whenever
Right.
she gets in here.
yes,
I didn't know she was that smart until recently.
I know it.
Holy!
I'll confirm this morning.
All right, we'll see you guys
Okay,
tomorrow
we
morning at
will.
7:00. So stay tuned and have as you see a big old greenhouse going down the highway. 53 117 coming. This is here away. Get out of the way.
And I will tell you real quick, if you can't go to the city council meeting, you're interested in what happens, you can watch it on GoTV, GOTV, or you can download the app, Chromecast, or you can watch it on their Facebook.
God of
And
GOTV. God of
yeah,
God
right.
of
Yeah.
God of.
so you can. So you can watch it on that, and tonight's the Kentucky primary, so it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But
You're
anyway,
live and local,
Stay safe.
real talk,
right.
where we're always awake, never woke. And say goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye, George.